Katt Williams went to Club Shay Shay and emptied the clip. And when I mean emptied the clip, he emptied the clip on some of his fellow comedians today. Did y'all watch it? If so, let's talk about it. If not, y'all need to go watch it. But before we get there, happy New Year, everybody. We made it to 2024. We made it to 2024. So 2023 was really, really good over here. Y'all know we hit 20,000 subscribers right before Christmas. So, once again, thank you to everybody that has been subscribing and liking and viewing and commenting and sharing and all of that kind of stuff. Keep it going. Keep it going. You guys asked me to do more pop culture stuff. So, here we are doing more pop culture stuff, okay? So if you guys enjoyed this particular video and you're a brand new subscriber or a returning viewer, brand new viewer or returning viewer that is not yet subscribed, I hope this is the video that changes your mind and convinces you to join the Tamily over here, all right, y'all? And then thumbs up the video, leave some comments down below. So like I said, I have not watched the full 3-hour video. This is a 3-hour interview. I've only watched the 35-minute clip that's going around, and I've seen some other smaller clips, but I wanted to talk about this clip in particular first, all right? So I took some notes because it was a lot. So for those of you that don't know, Shannon Sharp has Club Shay Shay, which is right here on YouTube. So you guys go check it out. His interviews are actually very, very good. He's a really good conversationalist, okay, if that's even a word. But he knows how to get the people going in these interviews. So we all know who Katt Williams is. Katt Williams is definitely in my top 3 favorite comedians. He's hilarious. He's polarizing. And he sat down in Club Shay Shay to talk about some things. And what he really, the part that's, going viral right now, is him clearing the air and clearing up some lies, misconceptions, fallacies, fantasies, whatever you want to call it, that some other people, i.e. his fellow comedians, have said. So first he talks about Ricky Smiley. Now, Ricky Smiley was on Club Shay Shay last year, which sounds crazy to say, 2023. But last year he was on Club Shay Shay, and he made the statement that in Friday After Next, the third part of the Friday series, and Friday After Next, that he was supposed to play Lil Money Mike, the pimp. Is it Money Mike? Magic Mike? I think it was Money Mike. He was supposed to play Money Mike in Friday After Next, and that Katt Williams was supposed to play Santa Claus. Y'all know Santa Claus. And Friday After Next stole the presents and stole the stuff from Craig and Day Day's house, their apartment. So Katt Williams has a problem with that because he said it's simply not true. Okay, so Katt Williams said that Ricky Smiley can't act. So why would he come in and play that type of role? I'm gonna say this. Now, I did watch the Ricky Smiley show. I think Ricky Smiley is funny, okay? I want to say that hands down. Do I think Katt Williams is funnier than Ricky Smiley? I do, and this is why. Katt Williams has more jokes. I think Ricky Smiley, I like when he does his pranks, and remember he did Lil Daryl and that type of stuff. I think Ricky Smiley is funny. I feel like Ricky Smiley is funnier when he's doing that type of stuff. But Katt Williams, I can and will watch his stand-up front to back. And I'm not a huge stand-up person. So, do I think that Ricky Smiley would have done well being Lil Pimp Money Mike? No, absolutely not. Now, would it have been funny to see Katt Williams' little ass be Santa Claus? Maybe. But I when I heard the story, I didn't really know what to think about it. Nobody came out and confirmed the story, nor denied it though. Katt Williams is saying that Ricky Smiley cannot act. He said that he was bitter because he didn't get the role, and that's why he kind of said that. He points out that Ricky Smiley didn't come to the premiere. He watched the movie at home, like the rest of us. There were a lot of things that Ricky Smiley didn't participate in because he was upset, according to Katt Williams, that he didn't get the role. Okay, so he then said that Money Mike was originally supposed to get assaulted in that bathroom scene with Terry Crews. Now we all remember the scene. Lil Pimp Money Mike goes to the bathroom. I feel like it's not Money Mike, and I feel like y'all are about to. I feel like y'all are gonna overly correct me in the comments. It is Money Mike. Okay, so it just doesn't sound right for some reason. Nonetheless, so in that role, when Terry Crews meets him up in the bathroom, and remember he's yelling, "I am a boy, Damon, I'm a boy," whatever the case. According to Katt Williams, in that scene, which Ricky Smiley apparently maybe did audition for, Katt Williams said that there were over 200 comedians before him that auditioned for that role. I would have thought the way that Katt played that role down, that role would have been like specifically for him. But he said that there were over 200, I think he said 207 comedians that auditioned for that role first. According to Katt Williams, when Ricky Smiley read for that role, that he was apparently okay with the fact that Damon was supposed to, assault, y'all know what I mean, assault Money Mike in that scene. Ricky Smiley said that when he read for it, he told the writers that, y'all know the R word rape is not, it's not funny. The scene is not going to be funny in any capacity. So kudos to Katt Williams for even standing up and saying that. Because I feel like they would have tried to make a joke about it. It would have been cringy. It might have changed the trajectory of the movie. You know what I mean? In terms of success. So he said that he talked to the writer, said it's not funny, told them, let me switch up the scene. I promise y'all the scene is going to be funny. It's going to be this. It's going to be that. And you won't regret it, basically. And really, the way that he did it, remember, he got the pliers that were like holding the toilet, and he went up under there and, clenched them twig and berries, let's call it that, went and clenched that, and that is a memorable scene from that movie. Katt Williams said that he wrote all his own lines for that role. He said that he's the one that helped, bring in a real life pimp for the role. He was very instrumental in the set, not the set design, but the costuming, the hair, the outfits, all this stuff. Katt Williams said he built Money Mike from the ground up. He then said, so how could Ricky Smiley be, how could this role be for him when I basically built the role? Basically, that's what he's saying. I'm telling y'all, I'm really trying to picture Ricky Smiley as Money Mike, and I can't picture it. That's crazy that he would. I mean, I guess. Katt Williams then said that because of that, in his contract, he will never work with Ricky Smiley unless he's in a dress. And Shannon Sharp asked why, and he said because Ricky Smiley and Tyler Perry are better actors as women. They cannot act as men to save their lives. I said, Lord have mercy. Claude have mercy. What? Not gonna lie, I do prefer Tyler Perry as Medea. I'm just saying. But that is crazy to say. And then, you go look up first Sunday that Ricky Smiley is in with Katt Williams, and I'll be damned if he is playing a woman. He's playing a woman at the church. So then he talks about how Ced the Entertainer stole his joke and used it for Kings of Comedy. So Katt Williams has this joke about how black people would be if they were to go to space. And you like, there's a clip. The clips are not going around, and he's saying that he wrote that joke. He told it on Comic View, which I miss Comic View. Comic View was the '90s were really the best at everything. Comic View was so funny. Comic View is how we know a lot of the comedians of today. But he said that he worked on this joke. He worked with Mark Curry, y'all know, hanging with Mr. Cooper, and they punched up the joke, and that's how they were able to, that's how he was able to successfully land a joke on Comic View. Worked with Mark Curry on it. He then says that Ced stole that joke, and that is the joke that Ced the Entertainer used at the end of Kings of Comedy, which, if you guys don't remember that, that is the joke where Ced is saying that, you know, black people will be able to drive a spaceship like a deuce and a quarter because they're both long. You remember he was doing this when you trying to park, and then you all know the older cars, you had to pull up. To change gears. It wasn't just, you know, what we're doing now, but you had to pull up. I'm picturing my grandfather's station wagon. And then you talk like, you know, so like it's the joke is similar, right? Does it mean that Ced stole the joke? I don't have an opinion on that. The jokes are similar, but they're also very different. Very different. He then talks about how Steve Harvey has said that he never wanted to be a movie star. Let Katt Williams tell it that there's no role that is made for a country bumpkin that cannot speak proper English and looks like Mr. Potato Head and that wore a hair unit. And I said, Jesus, Jesus, like, come on, Katt. He then said Steve Harvey has no reign. So then I started to think back to the movies that Steve Harvey has been in. And I feel like Steve and Ced were in, what was that movie? What was that movie called? You know, when they're two families, you got little Bow Wow in there, Solange is in there, where they are, it's like a family reunion. I feel like Steve is in Fighting Temptations, which he's just a radio host in there. I think he's in Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that. But I feel like Steve Harvey is in there in like a small capacity too. But he said that Steve has no range. Because he said the ultimate goal, really, you're doing comedy, is you want to make it to the big leagues, right? So for Steve Harvey to say that he never wanted to be a movie star, according to Katt Williams, is like, that's crazy. He then said the entertainer looks like a walrus, said his hands don't move from his stomach. I said, Lord. He also said that Ced does not write anything. Now, I really want to know what he means by that. What do you mean he doesn't write anything? Because to me, like, if somebody says a singer doesn't write anything, I assume that they don't write their own songs, right? Which is not uncommon for a singer. If somebody says that a rapper does not write anything, I'm assuming that that rapper does not write their own raps, which is like, frowned upon in terms of the rap community. So he said that Ced the Entertainer came out, was supposed to be singing and dancing because that's in his name. He then said that Cedric the Entertainer's comedy specials are so bad that they aren't on Netflix or Tubi. He said he has done 4 of them. And they're so bad, he said, let me repeat it for the people in the back. They're so bad that they aren't on Netflix or Tubi. Y'all, I about fell out my chair at work. Because if somebody feels that you ain't good enough to be on Tubi, what's going on here? This was so much. I said, "Ooh, this is too much for a Wednesday for me." He then goes on to say that Earthquake, the comedian Earthquake, is illiterate, and that's why he's not on TV. Said they used to hold up, the signs and flashcards for his ass. He couldn't read the stuff. I said, Earthquake was on Everybody Hates Chris. He was Rochelle's brother. But when you mention it, we haven't seen earthquake and anything else. Do I think that man is illiterate? I don't know. It's not far fetched. People be illiterate. Okay, so it's not far fetched, but it's like he then goes on to say that he's never been on drugs. Katt Williams said he has never been on drugs. He doesn't know why that narrative is out there about him being on drugs. Said that no one has any stories of being around him while he's on drugs. Now, Katt, is it alcoholism then? Because there have been some moments, Katt, where you have done some questionable things that you were clearly on an upper or a downer. You were inebriated in some capacity, some fashion. So what we're not going to do is act like you've never done anything and you are 1,000% sober. You've been on something, my guy, or is it like a mental incapacity? But you have had some very, very questionable moments. You have. But he said he's not on drugs. He's never been on drugs. I'm going to take his word for it. That's all we can do. Somehow, Faizon Love caught a stray, and he said he's a fat Faizon Love lie. So he's mad at Faizon Love. So now we done went through Ricky Smiley, Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, Earthquake, and now we're at Faizon Love. He said that Faizon Love should not be allowed to have conversations about comedians. So basically, he's discrediting Faizon Love. He said that Faizon Love told him that getting a Netflix special is easy. But Faizon Love does not have a Netflix special. I don't think it's easy at all. Hell, y'all see what Monique went through to get one? I don't think it is easy. Katt Williams said he has had 12 Netflix specials. Okay. The fat Faizon Love took me out. It took me out because it was so random. I like Faizon Love, I always have, but it was so random, so rude, so nasty, so like, come on, Katt. So then Katt Williams said that he himself is blackballed because he's been able to collect secrets. He also mentioned that he pays for people's secrets. He said people come up to him and will tell him these secrets, and I guess he just collects them. I don't know what he does with them, but he collects these secrets, and he just has them, so that's why people don't really speak out that much against him. He said that Steve Harvey has lied about being homeless. He then went on to mention that Steve Harvey called Ocean 11, I guess, directors, producers, whoever, to try to get Bernie Mac's part. We don't know how true that is, but he harped on a lot about the fact that Steve Harvey kept saying that he doesn't want to be a movie star. He's never wanted to be a movie star. He never wanted to be a movie star. And according to Katt Williams, that is just crazy because who doesn't want to be a movie star, right? That's what Katt Williams is saying. Who doesn't want to be a movie star? So the fact that Steve Harvey keeps saying that when, according to Katt Williams, it's not that you don't want to be a movie star, it's that you could not be a movie star. So there is a difference. There is a difference in, in the two things. What else do we have? He said that Steve Harvey has kind of used the same thing. I guess the homeless story. It's not true. He said Steve Harvey was getting about $3,000 a show. He was doing a couple of shows a week. He was never homeless. He said that just never happened. He brings up Guy Torry. Said that Guy Torry was a part of that. So then Guy Torry caught some strays. Not directly, but Guy Torry definitely caught some strays. He then goes on to talk about Kevin Hart. He said that Kevin Hart is an industry plant, a comedian plant. This is why he feels that way. He said that no one has ever talked about going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show at a comedy club, right? Here's a lot of comedians we hear about. They have these stories and other comedians and actors and whoever can corroborate this story with them, where they're at this little hole in the wall shack, or like there are some popular like comedy clubs that the greats all came up through. Kevin Hart doesn't have any of those stories. He said that by the time Kevin Hart got to LA, he already had a show and a movie within his first year. Remember Kevin Hart? Well, I know Kevin Hart's first movie as Soul Plane. I don't know the TV show. If y'all know the TV show that Kevin Hart was on, let me know down below. But Kevin Hart, there was a year or two where it was like everywhere you looked, Kevin Hart was there. Movie after movie after movie after movie, right? Katt Williams said that that has not happened to anybody before Kevin Hart, and it has not happened to anybody since Kevin Hart. So he thinks Kevin Hart is a plant. What do y'all think about that? I think Kevin Hart is funny, right? I think Kevin Hart is funny. I've always thought Kevin Hart was funny. I think his stand up is good. I think he's an acquired taste for sure. It's not for everybody, which is perfectly fine. But what do y'all think about that? I think that's something. That is something. And then to wrap up just the 35-minute part that I watched, he talks to Shannon Sharp asked him, was he ever considered for Kings of Comedy? Katt Williams said that after Bernie Mac passed, that he was presented with that offer, and he said he passed on it because of how they treated Bernie Mac. So apparently the Kings of Comedy tour was really Steve Harvey's show, and Steve wanted to close. We know that Bernie Mac, by far, hands down, without a question, it's not subjective at all. It's a fact. Bernie Mac had the funniest part in Kings of Comedy. Anybody that does not think that Bernie Mac was the funniest, you don't know comedy. I question if you have a funny bone. Bernie Mac was the funniest, hands down. Katt Williams is saying that Bernie Mac, they felt that because Bernie Mac, was darker than them and he wasn't the most attractive, that, they kind of felt the way when he started to soar. Bernie Mac showed it really well. Bernie Mac was in movies. Bernie Mac did Life. Bernie Mac did, was it Soul Man? But like Bernie Mac did Ocean's 11. Bernie Mac did some stuff. Not to say that Steve Harvey has not to say that Said the Entertainer have not, but I think Bernie Mac, at the time of his passing, did a lot of like super, super dope stuff. So because of how Katt Williams felt that they treated Bernie Mac, he did not want to take the empty spot on Kings of Comedy. This was a lot. This was a lot, y'all. Let me know what y'all think about all of this. Mainly, so a couple things put in the comments. Do y'all think that Ricky Smiley was supposed to be Money Mike and that Katt Williams was supposed to be the Santa Claus in Friday After Next? Let's talk about that down below. Do you guys believe that Katt Williams has never been on any drugs or in any capacity? And then let me know, do you guys think that Kevin Hart is an industry plant? An example of an industry plant is clearly Ice Spice, okay? Clearly Ice Spice. I'm starting to think that currently is a plant. But like, let me know what you guys think about all that down below. Wow. We are on the third day of 2024, and we done already came out swinging. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, thumbs up the video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.